Hello friends, today I'll be talking about total 4 matches. The 2 matches yesterday, New Zealand versus Namibia and India versus Scotland. And I will also be giving you my match predictions about the 2 big matches today, Australia versus West Indies and England versus South Africa. So first of all, let's have a look at the 2 matches yesterday. The first match was between New Zealand and Namibia, and all the Indian fans were expecting that Namibia would upset New Zealand. That would have cleared the road to semi-finals for India. And Namibia, it seemed that they would do it in the first innings, at least in the first 16 overs of New Zealand innings. In the first 16 overs, New Zealand batsmen were really struggling to score runs. They hadn't even reached 100 runs in the first 16 overs. But in the last 4 overs, I would say that Namibia choked, and their inexperience at this level showed. And there was some really good power hitting by New Zealand batsman Phillips and Jimmy Neesham, and that took them to a good score of 164. And this score was going to be enough for Namibia, and it proved to be enough. Namibia, while chasing, they were not into the game. They were not maintaining a good run rate. The pitch had also slowed down, so I won't blame Namibia batsmen. But Namibia let this match slip away from their hands in the last 4 innings of their bowling. They could have restricted New Zealand to around 130, 140, and in that case, Namibia would have won this match. But New Zealand showed that Namibia still has to learn a lot, still have to do a lot of their homework at this level to beat a team like New Zealand. But I would still say it was a great opportunity for Namibia to beat a team like New Zealand, which they let slip away from their hands. But well played New Zealand in the end. But now New Zealand will be facing Afghanistan in their last match, and they have to win it now if they have to qualify for the semi-finals. And Afghanistan too would like to win it, and Indian fans would also like that Afghanistan should win it so that the road to semi-finals become clear for India. And in the second match, India versus Scotland, everything went for India. It was really a great match for India for Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli was the birthday boy in on this day. It was his birthday, and after a long time, he won the toss and also the match in a really convincing manner. Scotland were, I would say that Scotland were knocked out in this match. They got bowled out for only 85 runs, and India chased this total in only 6.1 or 6.2 overs. And with this huge victory, now India in Group 2 is above both New Zealand and Afghanistan in terms of run rate. There was a big gap of run rate between Afghanistan and India before this match and also the previous match of India. But due to this big victory and also the big victory in the previous match against Afghanistan, run rate is not a worry now for India, and Indian bowlers really bowled well. Now this bowling unit is looking like one of the best bowling unit. This is looking like the combination which I think India will continue if they reach the semi-finals, because in this match they played three spinners, and this proved the correct combination for them, including Ravi Chandra Ashwin and Varun Chakravarti both along with Jadeja. And Jadeja showed his good form with the ball this time. His bowling form was a bit of worry for Indian team, but he bowled really well, and the wickets which he took, they were due to his bowling skills and not because the batsmen were going after runs. So that is good sign for India. And Mohammad Shami also bowled some really good deliveries, some good Yorkers, good bouncers, and the form of Shami, Bumrah, and Ashwin, and along with him Jadeja and Varun Chakravarti also. So the bowling unit of India is now really looking good. And in the batting also, again Rohit Sharma and KL Rahul, they continued with their good form. Rohit scored at a strike rate of 200, and KL Rahul scored at an even higher strike rate of almost 250. And KL Rahul scored the fastest half century of this tournament, scoring his 50 of only 17 balls. And ultimately, India chased down this total and removed the big difference in run rates between their team and Afghanistan team. So now they just need that Afghanistan should win the next match against New Zealand, because if New Zealand wins the next match, then India will be out of the tournament and New Zealand will qualify for the semi-finals. But if Afghanistan wins, then I would say that the road will be clear for India. India then just needs to win their last match against Namibia, because their run rate is now superior to both Afghanistan and New Zealand. And I don't see Afghanistan winning by a big margin. If Afghanistan wins, I think that will be close match, or even if Afghanistan wins comfortably, then it will be, you can say, around 20-30 runs or maybe 3-4 overs to spare. So that is what India needs now, that Afghanistan should beat New Zealand, and we all are also hoping for that. And now talking about the today's match, the first match is between Australia versus West Indies, and second is England versus South Africa. And both these matches will decide which team is going to qualify for the semi-finals from Group 1. So both these matches are really important for Australia and South Africa. And Australia, I would say, is quite clearly ahead in this race, because they have to face West Indies in the first match. And going by the present form of West Indies and Australia, Australia certainly looks like the favorites going into this match. But West Indies, I think West Indies can be dangerous in this match, because even Dwayne Bravo has declared his retirement now. This will be his last international match. So maybe West Indies would be, you can say, they would be pumped up and they would like to give a good farewell to Dwayne Bravo. And you never know, this might be the last match of Chris Gayle also. So maybe West Indies team can give in a good performance in this match. Some of their big names who haven't yet fired in this tournament, I think they can fire in this match. And Australia is in good form, and they are in a superior position in terms of run rate compared to South Africa, but still they would like to win this by a big margin, so that it becomes really difficult for South Africa even if they win their next match against England. So Australia won't be taking it lightly. I don't think Australia will be complacent. Their bowling attack is looking really good. But the only thing is that maybe if West Indies can get their openers out early of Australian team, then in that case, you never know, Australian team might struggle in the batting. And if West Indies batting clicks, then West Indies can surprise Australia also here. West Indies is the defending champions, so you shouldn't underestimate West Indies. I wouldn't underestimate West Indies, but Australia clearly is the favorites going into this match. So my match prediction for this match is I will pick Australia. I think Australia will win this match, but I don't think it will be a close. But I don't think it will be a one-sided match. I think West Indies will give in an improved performance in this match. They would like to go out of this tournament on a high note, so they will try their best to win this match. I'm not sure if they can win this match or not, but it won't be a one-sided match. I think it will be a close contest. But in this close contest, Australia will win. That is my prediction about this match. And then talking about the next match, England versus South Africa. Now, going into this match, England team definitely looks like the favorite. They have won all their four matches. This will be the last match of England, and this is also the last match of South Africa. South Africa has won three matches, so it's a must-win game for them. Even if Australia loses their match, the first match against West Indies, South Africa still would need to win this match. They can't afford to lose this match because they are behind Australia in terms of run rate. So it's a must win game for South Africa, and for England it is not a must win game, but still it is important for them to maintain their momentum. They are quite high on the run rate, and if England loses, then South Africa and England both will end at the same points, but England has much higher run rate. compared to South Africa as well as Australia. So run rate is not a problem for England. So now going into this match, I think then that South Africa being the dark horse, they can surprise England. I feel the South African bowling unit is really good, and their batsmen, although they all of them haven't scored big runs here, but they have showed some decent form, and you never know, they can give in a surprise in this match. So my match prediction for this match is that in this match, South Africa will show that they deserves to be in the semi-final. I'm not sure if they can reach the semi-finals or not, but South Africa will win this match. That is my prediction about this match. They will surprise England as well as the other teams by their good performance in this match. But maybe luck won't favor them, and Australia will just push them behind in terms of run rate. And for England, you see, England team is looking strong, but uh, if you take out Josh Butler from their lineup, suppose Josh Butler gets out early, then you are not sure about their other batsmen whether they will also score a lot of runs or not. In that case, England, if they bat first, might get all out for 140, 150. Or if they are chasing and they have to chase, suppose 160, 170, you're not sure if Butler gets out early, if England will chase it. So I feel that South Africa will give in a surprise in this match, and South Africa will win this match. This will be a thrilling match, and South Africa would like to win it by a considerable margin to improve their run rate. So the only chance I see for South Africa going into the semi-finals is that if West Indies beats Australia in the first match. Otherwise, the chances are that South Africa, England, and Australia all will end up at the same points, and Australia and England will go through. So let's see what happens in these two matches. I'm sure they will be exciting matches, both of them. Both of them will be thrilling matches. So let's see which teams qualify for the semi-finals from Group 1, whether it's Australia or South Africa. That will be decided today. Okay, friends.